Many people love winter. The crisp air, the beautiful snowfalls, time with the family, and the comfort of cozying up near a warm fire. In the past, however, winter represented more sinister things. Starvation from a long past harvest, isolation, and many other forms of danger and death. The reality of winter is and always has been something in between. Winter is both beautiful and dangerous, just like the Yuki-Onna, or Snow Woman. The Yuki-Onna is a creature that has spawned stories in many distant parts of Japan. In each region, she is a bit different, even going by different names, such as the Snow Girl, the Snow Granny, the Snow Hag, or the Snow Daughter. With so many names and in so many areas, I wonder, is she a single entity or simply one of many? In most stories, the Yuki-Onna is breathtakingly beautiful and graceful if slightly pale. Many who meet a Yuki-Onna find her nearly impossible to resist, especially since she only appears during the most lonely part of the year. They usually find themselves doing things at her will that they would never normally do. Unfortunately, when they finally realize this, it is usually far too late. While Yuki-Onna almost always look the same, their behaviors are completely unpredictable, sometimes terrible, sometimes kind, and sometimes so bizarre they seem completely insane. For example, a kind Yuki-Onna will often guide travelers from storms, save children of those who have been kind to them, or simply sit by the fire with old childless couples to keep them company in the long, lonely winters, only to disappear in a gust of wind and snow when they leave through the open door. These Yuki-Onna are said to be servants of a mountain god who blesses the villagers below. Other Yuki-Onna play mean or deadly tricks on people. Those who die of the cold in the night are said to have had their life force drawn from them by the cold kiss of these Yuki-Onna. Sometimes she will appear as a woman wandering in the cold, struggling to keep her child warm. She will then ask kind travelers to please hug her child just for a moment to warm her up. Of course, these people do, but then realize that the child is rapidly growing and is turned into a drift of snow, burying them completely. And trapping them under their crushing weight. We'll finish with a story collected by famous folklorist Lafcadio Hearn about a Yuki-Onna who plays a very long game. Long ago, an old woodcutter and his young apprentice were traveling through the woods, determined to get one last load before returning home. It was a beautiful day, the birds were singing, and the bright sunlight was shimmering on the snow and ice like diamonds. All of a sudden, the weather changed, and a great snowstorm surrounded them. It was so fierce, in fact, that they could not tell one direction from another, and it was only by sheer circumstance that they stumbled across an old shack that they could shelter in for the night. After seeking refuge, the two built a small fire in the drafty shack, and laid down to sleep out the storm. Late in the night, the young woodcutter awoke, shivering in the cold. He reached over to tend the fire when he realized it was completely out. Not a coal was lit. It was then that he saw the most beautiful woman he had ever seen, leaning over the older, motionless woodcutter. Frozen from fright, the young woodcutter could not move as the snow woman moved to hover over him. She stared at him for a moment and was also taken in by his youthful charm.
I was going to take your life, as I have many others. But I have other plans for you. However, if you ever speak of this night and what you've seen, I shall return.
The young woodcutter nodded in terror as the Yuki-Onna faded away into the blowing snow. As soon as his senses returned, he checked on his master. Finding him dead, he took his chances in the storm, unwilling to spend one more minute in that cursed place. Eventually, he returned home, and true to his word, told no one of what he had seen. Years went by, and the young woodcutter eventually pushed the experience to the back of his mind. He met a beautiful young girl from a nearby village, married her, and had 2 little girls with her. One night in the darkest part of winter, the no longer so young woodcutter was sitting by the warm hearth with his wife, while his girl slept nearby. He was content with what life had brought him as he looked over at his dear wife. He could not contain his emotions. He told her, "Even after all these years, you are still the most beautiful woman I have ever met. Only one even comes close. I have never told anyone, but years ago in a storm, I met a Yuki-Onna. Only she was close to your beauty." His wife suddenly threw her teacup onto the floor, smashing it. She rose to her feet suddenly, twice as tall as he, and glared at him.
It was I you met in that storm. I told you then that I would kill you if you said one word about it. If it were not for our children sleeping there, I'd kill you right now. You'd better take very good care of them, for if they complain once of you, I'll return.
With that, a gust of wind blew the door open and she was gone. So remember, each winter to stay bundled up and enjoy the snow from inside. And if you want to tell your wife or girlfriend how beautiful they are, maybe don't bring up any other women from your past. Thank you for watching the 3rd episode of Yokai Stories. The response so far has been really good, but we could always use more. Please subscribe to this channel, ring the notification bell, and like and share this video, and the other ones. Let's introduce everyone to the amazing world of yokai. Also, extra special thanks this week goes to Miki for her amazing voice acting. If you like listening to her as much as I do, please visit her Twitch channel and watch her play some games. Her link's in the description. See you next time.